Welcome to Coppercat Books and our continuing series with authors. And today I am excited to welcome Simon Thorne, who is debuting his new book, Portraits of Irene. So let's take a listen and hear a little bit about this book. Welcome, Simon.
Thank you, and hello.
So tell us a little bit about the book. What get me interested in picking this one up?
Well, Portraits of Irene is the first book in the Portion of Divinity series. The series is aptly named because it explores what it's like to be human, superhuman, and maybe even less than human, and the struggles and travails of people who live a very long time and live the way that they do in all three phases of that. And Irene, in this case, is Irene Adler of the Sherlock Holmes lore, the woman, as she is dubbed in the lore, and one of the most fun and mysterious characters in all of fiction. She only appears in one canonical story, and yet she is the only woman Sherlock can think of throughout the rest of the canon. So there's been a lot of takes on how her and Sherlock's story has emerged, and this is yet another one that follows Sherlock to his great hiatus and what he's doing during those 3 long years with Irene.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating. I mean, anytime you read a little bit or see the movies that they've redone of Sherlock Holmes, you see a little bit of Irene and how she she gets to Sherlock. And
she does. The one critique I will have of most of her portrayals is she's always the second fiddle to Sherlock. Sherlock is the main character. In this case, she is the title character, and it's not a fluke. She is the first violin, and Sherlock is the second fiddle.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. So tell me about what inspired you to write this, because since it is a multi-book series, it's probably taken a little bit of time to craft it, knowing that you were going to continue it into more than one book.
Honestly, it was supposed to be one book, and by the time I finished writing, I was halfway through book 2.
Oh.
The reality of it is this is Sherlock's way of exploring the world that we have never learned in the classroom, that we have never learned in popular culture, that is really on the pages of the Inquirer. It's the world of conspiracy theories, but there's a kernel of truth in everything. And one of the things that inspired me to start writing this was all the new information that has been coming out about how there are structures in the world that are older than they're supposed to be, in some cases by millennia. And so how did the ancients have laser cutting 13,000 years ago, and how did they build walls that are still standing today? And how are these pyramids 20,000 years old? Right? There's a lot of things on this planet that we have not explored, and while there's certainly many conspiracy theories about aliens and such, I tend to land on the side of science and look at what science, especially lately, has taught us about our past.
Yeah, I think that whole area is just super exciting because they're always kind of redating things, even like the pyramids, or you look at ancient writings from like the Bible, the Torah. I know you mentioned that earlier, that they have similarities. The story of a great flood, and
they all do, and it's not just the classical sources, right? It's the indigenous sources. It's the writings of the Navajo. It's the Hopi. It's the tribes of the Amazon. It's the tribes in Jakarta in Sumatra that all come down to the same 2 stories that they have. The first is the story of the Great Flood, and which is now starting to be backed by a lot of science and a lot of geology about what happened during the Younger Dryas period in our history. And the second is the story of the emergence, the fact that we as a species lived underground for a very long time, and that at some point in time we emerged and saw the world as what it is today. But the Earth is very, very old, and we are very, very young. So chances are things have happened that we don't even know about, because as the book one of the catchphrases in the book, history is full of things we have forgotten.
Right. Oh, that's fascinating. So you wove that into the whole Portraits of Irene as well.
Indeed, it's a essentially portrait of a woman, or a set of portraits of a woman, throughout 13,000 years of history,
Oh my goodness.
and that's why it's called Portraits of Irene.
It's fabulous. So Simon is here at Copper Cat Books. We'll have his book on our shelf if you don't make it to the signing, and check out our other author videos. Thank you so much. Oh, and what is your website? Do you have a website,
The
Simon?
website for the series is portionofdivinity.com.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.